Yo, it's Joel Q. You are now listening to Vocalo Radio. My album Crazy Road to Glory is out right now.
I'm Bekoe, the illest on middays here at Vocalo, and today we have MC and teacher of special education for Cook Elementary in studio with me. Goes by the name of Joel Q. How you doing, my brother?
Yo, what's going on, man? I appreciate the introduction. I'm good, man. How about yourself?
Speaking of introduction, I appreciate the introduction you and Kid Breeze cooked up for me for the midday show, man. Thank you.
No problem, man. I appreciate you trusting me. You know what I'm saying? I never did that. I felt like I was Jamie Foxx on Jenkins 3000. So I was trying to just make sure that I did it right and I hit the right words so people can understand that it's definitely for you and for Vocalo. So so I appreciate you giving me the opportunity.
Hey, I speak for all of us when I say we appreciate it, man. You did your thing, sure. Breeze, you did your thing. And
Yes,
I'm going to start things off by, let the people know where you're from.
I'm from the South Side. I grew up in Roseland, then to the West Pullman area. That's, if nobody knows, that's like the hundreds. People call it the wild hundreds, but I'm just gonna say the hundreds because that's what it is. And South Side.
What has the South Side taught you so far? What has that community taught you?
If nothing else, South Side teach you to be a leader. In my opinion, I feel like I've seen so much growing up. I've seen death before. I've seen success before. I've seen gang violence. I've seen shootings. But, outside of that, from like just being in my household, I've seen two adults, which would be my parents, sustain the people that they are, no matter what's going on around them, and still be what I would consider to be successful. So, therefore, they was able to enable that in me and instill that in me. And, I can still deal with the yin and yang and come out the person that I am today. So, yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, with that happening, what pretty much led you into making music from that aspect?
My oldest brother, he was rapping at first. Okay. I ain't really, not that I didn't care for it, but my mom didn't care for it. So me being like 5, 6 years old, whatever my mama say goes. So I'm looking at her, like yelling at him and say, like, you better stop. And, I'm thinking he's doing something terrible. I'm like, whatever he doing, I ain't on that. But around that time, Bow Wow was out. And I was always getting called him, but I didn't know who Bow Wow was because obviously my mama not letting me listen to rap at the time because I'm so young. But eventually, I'm trying to make this story real short. Eventually, my first grade teacher started bringing up poetry, and she recited a poem by Langston Hughes, if I'm not mistaken. And then I went home and tried to do the same thing because I just liked the fact that the words was rhyming. I'm like, dang, this kind of... So I went home and I did one called Stars. Don't know how it go. So please don't ask. And I came back and I showed her the poem, and she acted as if it was so cold. Now that I think about it, it's just like, of course she was supposed to react that way because I'm a little kid. But she gassed me up to make me think I did something good, and now I kept writing. Eventually, I started realizing who Bow Wow was, going back to that. And I'm like, oh, he kind of doing the same thing. So then I knew, like, this ain't that bad. I don't know why my mama tripping on my brother because I'm pretty much doing the same thing. And then from there, man, by the time I got, like, in 3rd grade, it converted to, like, it converted to rap. It went from poetry to straight rapper. Then I knew, like, I'm finna be a rapper. Like, I don't know why you tripping. I'm a straight A student, but I'm a rapper, though. This is what I do.
That's super unique. I know... Bow Wow, that age, that era, I was a fan of Bow Wow. Do you feel like he influenced the wide range of us, our generation?
I would say. I don't think that he influenced us musically. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't go and say that because he wasn't even writing his own lyrics and anything. And then around that time, I feel like people were so unique. It was hard to like take styles. I think nowadays everything is like so cluttered with each other. You can easily like bite a style or whatever the case may be. But I think he just allowed young adults and just teens and all that to feel like they got a chance at doing this because, before him, you ain't really see no kids really doing it besides like Crisscross or something like that, but you ain't really see no kids taking it to the level that he took it. So you like, man, I want to be like that. At this age, I think I can do that. At first you thought you had to be like 18, 19 and up to become a rapper, but he showed you like this little 13-year-old killing the adults, you know what I'm saying? And the adults are getting on his remixes and all. So I think he made us look at rap different. Like, okay, a kid can actually get in this and dominate, you know what I'm saying?
And I'm pretty sure he helped motivate parents too.
For sure.
Like, hey, okay, let our kids be right. You know, it's not a bad thing for our
right,
kids to rap.
Right. Yeah.
If he's rapping, our kids can do it too.
Exactly.
Let's talk about you know, you are a special education teacher at Cook Elementary.
Yeah, shout out Cook.
Now, how did you get into special education?
Well, that specific field, I kind of fell into it a little bit, but my mom is actually a principal, but she didn't start, you know what I'm saying, from that, obviously. She started as a kindergarten teacher, and even then, like, when she started being a kindergarten teacher, I was actually in kindergarten, so I used to come up there all the time, and I just used to watch her work, and as I got older, by the time I was in 5th grade, I knew, like, okay, I want to be a teacher, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, rap was always in my mind, but I always, you know, I got my mom and my pops, they just always overly secure about your future. So it was just like, make sure you got that plan B, just like what every black parent would say anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I always knew like, okay, well, if nothing else, I'm going to teach for sure. So, you know, eventually, I guess I just hit both things on the head and God just gave me a lot of favor because I'm literally doing both of the things that I said I was going to do. So that's like, to put it in a nutshell.
You know, out of all things that you can teach, why did you specifically choose special ed?
See, that's the thing. To be honest, I really didn't choose that. That's just the job that was open, and I was just like, I'm willing to do it. But one thing about me like, that everybody know, if you know me well, like my patience is like this thick. Like I can tolerate a lot. So when they told me what I would have to do and what it required, I'm just like, oh, man, I can do this. And then it made me feel good after I took on. I mean, I wasn't going to turn it down, no way, because I just would have felt bad inside. But once I got in the field and I realized, like, these are kids that some of them can't talk, you know what I'm saying? Some of them, like, if they were to put their hands on top of their head, or if they put something on top of their head, they literally wouldn't even know, like, where to go to, like, get it off. Like, it's so much things that we don't even think about that we're able to do. Like, we don't think about that we know that we can talk, you know what I'm saying? These kids got to literally stop and think just to get a word out, you know what I'm saying? Some of them, they got to stop and think just to move. And we just do everything without even a thought because we know how to do it. So it made me just be grateful every day. Like, man, God, I just want to say thank you because I could have been that, you know what I'm saying? And maybe somebody wouldn't want to take care of me just because I'm not able to do what they able to do. So once I got in the field, I was just like, man, God, this was like a blessing in disguise because I really love working with these kids now. I can't say I wouldn't want to work with nobody else, but I set my heart out to them though first, for sure. You know what I'm saying? So
when you doing music, do you see you influencing them at all with music?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like at first I was trying to hide it, you know what I'm saying? But when Angel in Training came out, thank God it went like very well, you know what I'm saying? And then I started getting a lot of accomplishments and shout out to What's the Word because they honestly are the reason why a lot of the kids knew who I was because they when they put the 2018 list, I want to say, it came out and, you know, I was at work at the time, so I ain't know what was going on. I just see my notifications going crazy. I'm like, what the heck just happened? And then some of the kids like, you got a show with C.J. Honcho and woo woo? Is this? I'm like, a show? I'm like, no, but if I do, let me check my phone because nobody told me about it. I'm like, no, man, I'm on this 2018 list, woo woo. But all the kids was just like, you a rapper? Because at first they were just talking about the show, but I guess it hit them like, wait a minute. You rap? Like, we talking about this show. We forgot that the fact, if you even on this list, you must be doing something. Mm-hmm. Then I had to just tell him, like, yeah, man, I rap. So, like, nowadays, like, one of my kids, his name Jaquez, but every time he see me, I'm like, what's up, JQ? He say that all the time.
JQ.
I'm like, what's up, man? You know, I call him JQ back because it's Jaquez or whatever, so it'd be funny. But, yeah, they definitely, they know exactly who I am, so it's cool.
What led you to your latest album, Crazy Road to Glory?
Just the mentality that artists have, or entrepreneur, period. Like, I feel like, you know, with social media, we give people the highlights of our life, you know what I'm saying? And it's only a few amount of people that's willing to show you everything. And I'm the type of person, like, when people come here to Chicago and have these seminars and all these just little pop-ups where they want to talk and give us game, I always want to know, what did you go through? I don't care about your success that much because I can see that already. I want to know what was your trial and error so I can avoid those things. I'm the type of person, I'm quiet because I'm very observant. So I always want to know, like, not doing that, because that's literally how I grew up. I'm the youngest of 3 boys, so I always used to see my 2 older brothers make their mistakes, and I just fall back like, ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? And because I dodged a lot of the potholes, I end up, being the person that I am. Not that I'm better or anything like that, but I just dodged a lot of things that I know my brothers and other people probably did fall for because they never seen nobody do it before. So they like, well, I just gotta try it on my own and see how it go. So that's what I be wanting to figure out. So with that being said, that project, I wanted to give people the highs and the lows, of me. Because I know if I'm feeling that way, I know it's probably several more who feeling that way and they just don't want to say it. But, we go through it, though. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z said righteous minds go through this. So, that's just really what I want to, let people know, like, we got pain, too. We have feelings, too, you know what I'm saying? Don't think we just invincible because we got this mic and we on stage. And, dude, we be stressing, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling, man. I mean, I heard you say Jay-Z is he one of your influences?
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. Oh, he definitely. I just think despite the way he got on, because that's debatable. Everybody can say like. I just feel like everybody got their journey. You know what I'm saying? His just so happened to be the way he got on. We on radio. I ain't gonna do too much, but he had this way of getting where he wanted to be. But he took that and he flipped it and he turned it to something positive. He's becoming a powerful figure for African Americans more specifically. So I mean I can't knock that. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm from, we don't hate on each other. So it is what it is. He just got to it and. He making a way for others. So
you've been a very positive brother, man. Your album features 14 tracks, but I specifically want to talk about the Big Homie track.
For sure.
That video is amazing. You put me in the video.
Yeah.
I greatly appreciate that.
Oh,
you
yeah,
put me, my sons, everything.
Definitely.
I thank you for thinking of me, but I want to know, what is the Big Homie to you?
The Big Homie, man, that's just somebody who is in position, but they're not so big that they don't want to give other people a position. I feel like Chicago has this thing where we are not becoming big homies, but I feel like our peers, we are working towards being in a position to become that. I talk to my brother all the time about that. No disrespect to nobody that's from my neighborhood, but I feel like if some of those people, because don't get me wrong, like my neighborhood was heavily influenced by like, gangs, more specifically like the Gangster Disciples. It was a lot of generals and all that who stayed over there, and a lot of them went to jail and all that. But the ones who stayed around, they were so hooked towards the streets that when it came to things like college or staying in school or doing anything else but that, they really didn't have no answers for us. Like they always told us, like, man, go to school, bro, woo woo. But it sounds something like what your parents telling you that. And, we don't really listen to our parents. We listen to our peers first. So if they, and I'm not really trying to make it an excuse, but for people who don't have that foundation at home, you kind of need others to tell you in a way that it's convincing you to be like, you know what, I do want to do right. I do want to follow my dreams and things like that. And we just didn't have that. I probably could have been not further on, but I could have been a little more experienced. Let me have had people around me that were showing like, bro, you need to be in the studio. You should be doing this. Like, if it weren't for my sister Nina, shout outs to her, I would have probably never seen one. I ain't getting to the studio since I was like 17, 18 years old. But I've been rapping for so long, but I just didn't have nobody around in my neighborhood or none of that to even tell me, like, you could be doing this right. So I just feel like, me being a man that I am now, I'm trying to be the big homie in my school. Like, I'm always talking to the kids. I ask them every day, like, yo, what do you want to be when you become older? Because based on what I've done, I can tell you what you need. So, like, look, you need to go to this school. Once you go to this school, you need to go to this college, and and just telling them about relationships, because people gotta understand, especially in 2020, like, relationships are everything.
Huge.
And if you don't know that, you know what I'm saying, you need to know, like, you can go from, zero to hero just off knowing the right person. So I just, like I say, man, the big homie is just being able to provide for everybody else to win besides yourself, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's a deep meaning. Deep meaning, man. I always wanted to know what that was to you.
Yeah,
because that was when you put me in the video. I'm like, man, I really want to know that. I know it's an in-depth. and some insight towards this
word. For sure.
But let's actually talk about Chicago, because I heard you mention Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
What
City.
What is your perspective on the Chicago music scene as of now?
Chicago is always going to be home. I love Chicago. I'm from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So my love of Chicago is unconditional. But the music side to Chicago, it actually hurts me a lot because I feel like we can do so much better with balancing the music and taking chances. We don't take no risks. We don't try to find nothing that's cool and new. We just be like, you know what? That sounds like what we've been pushing all day. Do that. And if you try to come different, unique, with a breath of fresh air, they be like, you might work, but I'm not trying to take that risk for you though. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people like me fall in. And so many, I can like super name drop, but I ain't even go through all that. But I feel like I'm in that hole where it's like, y'all know how I'm coming. Y'all know what I want to do for this city. Y'all know how much I love this city. Y'all know I want to even help y'all in ways that I can. But y'all just fail to just take the time to even try. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. Some people have gave me a little push, and I appreciate that. But it's like, come on, man. Are we really trying to have the representation that Chicago is just this drill, violent, we don't know nothing but guns and women twerking and all that type of sound? Like, come on, man. Like, did Kanye, Common, and all these other people work so hard and put so much in their music for us to turn around and be like, no, this is Chicago? Like, that's a part of Chicago. Don't get me wrong. That I do appreciate, because that helped mold a lot of us. But it's like, come on, bro. This is literally one of the dopest cities when it comes to talent, and when it comes to fashion, and when it comes to food, and so much more. Like, can we not bring that to the table? That's all I want. Like, is that cool?
Do you see a way that this can change? This persona can change?
Man, we need the big homies. Nah, but seriously, it can change when people who I believe have been around for such a long time realize that it gotta just be something fresh. It gotta be new faces. It gotta be fresh minds. It gotta be innovators. One of the main problems with even just in life, you know, some people become so traditionalized. Even with our parents, like, they don't want to be trying certain things that's new because they already used to what they've been doing for so long. So when we may come in with these new minds and new thoughts, and they're like, it's just like, nah, but this is really gonna work. You just don't want to do it because you've been used to the way it's been set up all day. And I feel like when it comes to radio, just in so many different ways in Chicago music, it has to be something new. When Keith came in, it was so fresh, it was new, it was dope. Everybody gravitated to it, you know what I'm saying? But now it's like, okay, that's cool and all. I appreciate the drill era. I appreciate Keith, because without him, who knows what Chicago would have been like. So I'm not knocking that. But what I am saying is that at the same time, we have to be more responsible. We got to take accountability in the fact that this music has still influenced an entire generation to, like, become low-key drug addicts, low-key overly gang banging. They making all the diss records. We cannot sit here and try to act like the drill era didn't cause that. Like, I literally just had a conversation with my students yesterday. Like, boy, I was like, how old was you in 2012? He like, I was 6. I'm like, so that literally means you grew up and the first music that you ever heard is a high chance that it was a drill song. You know what I'm saying? And now his character literally matches the music. Like, literally. And then I got another kid who I'm sitting right next to. He's like, my favorite artist is Joyner Lucas. The kid who I was talking to previously said, boy, if you play Joyner Lucas in the hood, boy, ain't nobody finna tee you up. He's like, play some Dirk, play some woo. No disrespect to the artist, but it's like, look what y'all doing. And the Joyner Lucas kid who the fan of him, I'm not even gonna front. He was like a nerd. I'm like, yo, this music literally, like, depending on what somebody tells you, what they listen to, you can look at them and be like, I can tell you listen to that. Your character shows that that's what you listen to. So like, rappers can deny that all day long, but I'm a rapper and I know my fans, the people who listen to me. It's a different type of people. And don't get me wrong, they all listen to other sounds and all that, but they not digesting it the way that these kids are digesting this drill sound, because they want to be that. I see kids going out of school rapping super loud. Oh, no. You know, I ain't gonna quote no lyrics because I don't want to be that type of dude. But it's like, you know, we just gotta be more careful, man. And if you're a grown man in a position to influence our young adults and just the world, period, and you don't want to influence us to be better, then you're the problem, period.
Well, hey, that's Joel Cute. I'm the illest on middays, and Crazy Road to Glory is out now. And I'll holler.